are under the eyes of God, all of us. So I finished my experiment on Palm Sunday last year. And I thought that was interesting, how everything fell into place. And my cousin too, he was actually there that day. He tried to help. He was, I don't know his feelings, but for me as a person to know what it takes to do such a thing by myself. Junkyard parts, Home Depots, blessed in a country that you could still order things and do things in this world, this great country of the United States of America. That in this glorious era that we all live in, that I was even given that opportunity to even do. But I still was not of conviction to speak up. I didn't know that still, I just didn't have it in me. Well, immediately after my video, I go upon the internet with my crude, simple video of showing underwater lightning and water. This is the road and the key, the door to go into to answer this energy crisis. I go upon the internet, it is no different than 10 years ago, trying to give people ideas. I have solved the energy crisis. People just say, why do you type in capital letters? You're just a... I don't even want to say, even before talks of God, I didn't even mention God. There seems to be a lot of crooked people in this world who will say anything. But this is the nature of the world. But I will speak about that. 6 weeks after this date, in May 13th, I have a strong desire. Something is calling me to go west. I drive out west. I come to a place called the Valley of the Gods. It's on an American map, southern Utah. It's also called the Warriors Frozen in Time to the Native Americans. And I believe I have been given a great gift as a human being. Again, since I was a child, one of my favorite movies is the Charles Dickens story of Ebenezer Scrooge and the Christmas Carol, where a grumpy old man with no care for society is visited 3 times in the night and born again hard. To see the light, to be good to our fellow man, to be good to the children. I believe the exact same thing has happened to me, and it is real. I was never an Ebenezer Scrooge in life. I have lived with the Christ in my heart since a child. I have been good to every human being that I have ever met. I have never physically hit a human being in my life. No one. Male or female. I am not perfect. I am a human being. I've been known to yell at a few times. Some girlfriends. I have surely said some wrong things at times. I am not perfect. But I have certainly tried to the best of my abilities to be a good human being. But I tell you, on this night, I have been spoken to by way of a dream / vision. You see, what gives me the conviction to stand in front of this camera, in front of my cousin, in front of humanity, if I were given the chance, to anyone, is what happened on this night and immediately preceding the months after. That in my dreams, 3 times in the night, I was visited. I fundamentally believe that I have lived my entire life for the heavens, for life after death. Meaning, my parents live now, but my grandparents, your grandparents, all humanity's ancestors. You do the math. 6 billion, 6.7 billion alive on the planet now. 10,000 years, maybe 300 billion of our ancestors have lived. I tell you, in my dream, I swear, I have been visited by an entire grid of light. And what I seen in 1987, which was represented to me that I think was a UFO, which confused me, was of light. In my dreams, an entire grid of light that I knew each one represented humanity. Our past. Our ancestors, the realm of the heavens, that of God. 3 times. The first was like a ceremony in a way to say thank you for living a life like this. Somebody is thanked. For surely it has not been society itself. For a person who would labor in his life to try to find something for humanity. I believe I was honored. I believe, at least in my dream, I was. The second was that everything that I was told for 10 years was absolutely true. And the third, whatever you want to do and say, you have our blessings completely. I tell you, I have been visited by the heavens themselves, by all of humanity's class collectively on this planet Earth. And more so than that, I tell you, it had the air, the feeling that it was a ceremony of this grid of light. It felt like warriors. It felt like soldiers. It felt, have you ever been to a military procession? There is an air of dignity to it. Today, we have a war in the Middle East. On the news, when you speak of soldiers, there is an air of dignity to it. Ladies and gentlemen, to my cousin who holds this camera, to many I have told already, only friends, my time has come. I fundamentally believe I have solved the energy crisis. Energy is the key to civilization. I believe I have unlocked a symbolic discovery that somewhere in the intervention of man on this planet, which might have begun with 2 sticks to make fire, I believe I have, by way of 2 electrodes, to make fire in the 21st century for unlimited energy, by way of fire of water, some symbology that immediately after this event, and honored by the heavens, and told to speak up, and after each dream to come out of, I drove across the country and stayed in a vehicle and came out and looked in this place. I would tell you to look it up. It's a beautiful place. It felt as if it was there still, but they did not come. What I seen in 1987, I cannot tell you. They came to me in a dream. A complete dream. But as I woke up, it felt like then it evaporated. But I will tell you, it was a dream. So I will stand here and tell you I am the Messiah. And I have no story about George Burns in tennis shoes comes into my car and talks to me directly. Or any story that you might have heard of, or a burning bush by way of fire. I am telling you that God in your own heart, that how you communicate, that what makes sense of this world is exactly how I was spoken to. Except that one